Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And when's the last time you were excited about Doctor Who news, right? It's actually easier to talk about with Star Trek, because Star Trek is a bit more regular. Doctor Who, you have these long breaks, but with Star Trek, we got together about every 6 months, and we mourned the arrival of a new Star Trek series from Alex Kurtzman. Like, oh God, no, there's more Picard. Oh no, there's more Discovery. Then Strange New Worlds happened. Went, wait, what? How did that work out to be good? I don't understand. I understand. Maybe it must be a fluke. But it's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time. I think that any of us have been really genuinely excited about the future of Doctor Who. And boy, what a difference a couple of days make. The Jodie Whittaker era is over, and the world is excited about Doctor Who. Like, it's not like a false excitement, right? The excitement of, the media saying, oh, we're so excited and so stunning and brave and telling you you're going to like it. No, genuine excitement. Genuine, this looks like it's going to be genuinely good. It's the difference between, we see in the media, especially the fan media, how stunning and brave and fantastic all the MCU new movies are. Oh, everybody loves them. No, that nobody gives a crap. I haven't even seen Thor, whatever it is, and I tried to watch Doctor Strange and I fell asleep twice. I'm like, forget it. Okay, it's too much bloody work, and there's not enough. There's no reason to me to try and access these Disney Plus streaming widgets. I am not interested in any way, shape, or form. So I was a bit surprised to be excited about Doctor Who again. Now the Jodie Whittaker years are over. We seem to be looking for some good times. I understand it might be awful. You may be watching this go, Tzvi, you're hopelessly naive. It's going to be awful. Maybe it is. I'm very optimistic. So anyway, they in the very, very quick scrubbing of the Jodie Whittaker era from reality, they released a new logo yesterday, and it's gorgeous. It's designed to make me feel good, which I kind of like. I like people making me feel good. Really, listen, it was the genre equivalent of a hand job. So thank you very much for that, Rossley Davis. I'm very, very grateful. I talk about it a lot, so you get my reaction to the new logo, and then we look at Ncuti being just insanely charming and lovely, and just I know I may be projecting. This might just be my bumbling optimism. I don't know. He seems genuinely charming to me, and I just never really got that vibe from Jodie Whittaker, right? He seems like humble and nervous, right? Oh, I like that he feels nervous, but he feels like excited as well. I'm really excited for his Doctor Who. We keep the media in its tailspin about this, because the more that Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who looks like it's going to be good, the more it makes Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who look bad. And so they keep saying he's going to be a gay Doctor Who with a trans companion. Maybe he will be. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's a gay man playing Doctor Who. Right, I don't think that's going to be part of the character. Like, honestly, do you remember the times when you didn't know if an actor was gay or not? I had no idea Simon Callow was gay. I really didn't. He was in that crappy sitcom Chance of a Million, which he was married in that, and I just assumed he was straight. Okay, and he's gay. I shouldn't know, right? It's not my business if you're straight or gay. I don't know if my parents are straight or gay. I never saw them have sex, which I'm quite reasonably grateful for. But I assume they are mainly straight. I have no idea. But that's what it should be. But this new era, I'm excited for it. I'm genuinely excited for it. It looks like it's understanding the past, right? Understanding the core of what is Doctor Who, what is important Doctor Who, what is great about Doctor Who, and looking to the future, which I think is the core of Doctor Who. I think Doctor Who has always been a very contemporary show, so I'm really very excited. So anyway, you got my my reaction to the new logo, and me waxing lyrical about it, being genuinely very, very, very happy, as you're about to see. And then we watched Ncuti, his little 2-3 minute video he put out yesterday, just to establish he is the Doctor, right? Like David Tennant is the interim Doctor to get people talking about Doctor Who again, but this is the Ncuti Gatwa era being introduced by David Tennant, right? That which might actually be why in the titles for Power of the Doctor. We had in the titles the Doctor in audience appearance. We had David Bradley, blah blah blah, all the different Doctors, and then they had another slide saying and introducing David Tennant as the Doctor. So I think David Tennant is essentially introducing Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor, right? That's what I think his function is going to be. Good for him. I just think we're going to get good Doctor Who. Right? Really, the bottom line. I really just think we're going to get good Doctor Who. I think just like Chris Chibnall was probably ordered to forget about the Timeless Child and Phasmin and all that other stuff that really didn't work at all, they're just going to forget about it, right? Like Half Human on the Mother Side, the Teletubby Daleks. That's what they do when they screw up. They're just going to forget about it. If you want to retcon it out your headcanon, you are going to have plenty of opportunity to do that. But anyway, let's look to the future. Before we get to it, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are very good. I'm very grateful for you doing all of those things. Thank you very much. Sign up my Substack. It's free, baby. It's my email newsletter. I put out a ton of extra Doctor Who content on that. I got all the old Doctor Who magazines. I always pull out old fun articles and old news articles. I like the old ads as well. I put those on. So sign up. That is free. If you want to be really nice, you can sign up my paid one. It's $5 a month. This month you get this graphic novel. Next month you're going to be getting my new book that I'm writing. As I'm writing it, the Eki Thump, the guide to the Jodie Whittaker era, which I think we just got to immortalize somehow in print. Right? I think that's very, very, very important. So you want to be nice to me, sign up for that. That'd be great. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Fine. Let me hand over to me from my live stream from last night when I looked over this exciting new news. Hey, this really super works, right? This is just, it's a diamond anniversary of the diamond logo, but also it's a massive scream saying we're returning to basics, we're returning to the core, the essence of Doctor Who. This is what this logo makes me feel like, and I maybe reading too much into it, right? But it makes me feel warm, right? It makes me feel warm on the inside. It genuinely does. It makes me feel warm on the inside, like it's a cold winter's night. I'm indoors. It's the heating's on. The gas heating's on, and it's hot and it's all warm, right? And you're in front of a fire, and that logo comes on, and you hear the scream, and it's safe. Right, it's safe to be scared. Right, it feels like a release and like a comfort. Right, so I am. That's how it makes me feel. Right, that's genuinely how this logo makes me feel. It makes me feel warm on the inside. Right, so as you can tell, I'm somewhat in favor. But man, have you noticed how fast the Jodie era has been dismantled from reality? Like, forget that, right? And I have to tell you, honestly, I think she'd been fucked over a little bit. Like, okay, I know she was shit, but like, there was stuff in that special that was pretty good. They've forgotten. Like, what? Do you remember the Paul McGann being in it? No. This just knocked that out the way. And Ncuti came along. We're gonna watch his video in a minute. I'm just I'm psyched, right? And I like that it feels like it's going to be young, right? That's what I like about this, right? That's what I like about this whole production. This is something that's really I'm really into. This, I think, one of the things Ross Lee Davies wants to do. I mean, other than make a lot of money, rescue Doctor Who, and like, if he revives the brand successfully, he is beyond entertainment gold, right? I mean, he is in such demand because all these brands are failing. And if he cracks it, which he's gonna, like, it might not be what you like, it might not be what I like, but a lot of people are gonna like it. This is gonna be super popular. Okay, this is going to be super popular. Everyone's going like, and again, do you notice how happy we are to be in love with Doctor Who again? Like, people are talking about Doctor Who again, and it's not about Jodie Whittaker. Again, who? It's crazy. Erased from reality. No escape from reality. Bye. But you know, there were good bits of that special. I think they should have plugged that a hell of a lot more. Right? Sophie Aldred, get awesome. Sophie Aldred, I think, gets the lap of honor. Sophie Aldred was absolutely freaking excellent. What's the name? Janet wasn't until but Peter Davison was. Right? Janet works as a foil for Peter Davison. On her own, she's just like, kind of like, oh, that's kind of grating. But then when you got like, but as a prompt for Peter Davison say, oh, I'm so human and nice, and this is why I'm such a loving, good person, right? Yeah, you need that sharpness of Tegan to bring out that like warmth of the Fifth Doctor and the irritability, you know. But I like the irritability, but underneath this absolute, you know, that's where you got this scene, this like real genuine love for Tegan, right? And I would show you the clip, but man, they copyright claim me everything I do, right? I mean, not me, just me. I think it's for like if I show any clips from the special, it get copyright claimed. So apparently, Jodie had to reshoot her part of the morph into the regeneration because the equipment at Sony at Bad Wolf like picked it up at you know their end at like so much higher resolution, right? It wasn't matching. It was like crazy like that, right? Because do you notice how much better the image of David Tennant was, right? It's like as soon as it was like crackling, it was on, you know, outside where Nick Briggs and Chris Chibnall. That's got to be embarrassing, hasn't it? Okay, I mean, firstly, I'm very glad that Nick got a lot of work in the special. I really am, and I hope they keep using him, right? Russell, I hope that you get Nick as right. Oh, I was talking about that. So one thing I think Russell wants to do with this era, right, other than revive the brand and make himself into you know, Hollywood royalty, I think he wants to make a incubator for creating new talent, right? I think he wants young, new talent, and I think he wants to grow them and guide them, because I think he sees how shit it's been. Like, you know, I think he feels genuinely bad for people like Joey Wilkinson and Pete Matigue, right? They didn't have the support structure to make them, to nurture their talent, right? Which I think, again, it's just, you know, they're in the wrong place, wrong time, right? But yeah, were they there because of their identity? Well, did they deserve to be there? I don't know. I really don't know. Joey Wilkinson, I don't know. All their episodes were subpar at best, right? I mean, Kablam, I think, was the best, and that was kind of confused and weird. But really, you can see the lack of a guiding hand. I'm sorry to rag on Chibnall again, but you know, but that's why I think he's so interested in it being young, talking in the language of the young. That's why he's talking about climate change, because he's trying to talk as like the youth talks, you know, but not trying to like imitate them. Just he's trying to understand the rhythms, right, of the TikTok generation, and that's why he's saying like things that are achingly woke. So I think he wants to put all that achingly woke energy and channel it into this, right? This, you know, this very controlled, mature, considered and how would I describe it? Considered and crafted artwork, right? Which we have not got, right? And like Russell Davies or not, right? I think it's hard to say his any of his work, right? Any of his work, it's all pretty distinctive, but any of it, Doctor Who included, is a, you know, unique. It's an individualistic art form, right? And it's expression of his artist, but you know, clad in the wraps of Doctor Who, the skin of Doctor Who. And I think, yeah, so I think that's why I think he's thinking young. But I think he wants to bring everything that's great from traditionalism to the energy of youth, right? And I think it might be too young for me. Might be too young for you. Might be too young for anyone else. But I think it's going to be fun. I'll tell you what it will be. Trip of a lifetime. Let's have a look into the future, right? Let's have a look, see what the future has to hold.
I'm Ncuti Gatwa, and I am the next Doctor in the next season of Doctor Who. And to celebrate the news...
Okay, he's got a Scottish lilt right there. Doctor Who, right? Yeah, oh, come on. I like that it's a blend of African and Scottish, right? Yeah, I like that, you know. Yeah, what's that? This guy, the Big Finish is YouTube page, so I can find the new trailer because that looks really good. I want to download it and watch it. Okay, fine. Let's go back to this. Got that queued up. Okay, celebrate the news.
We'll be landing on the BBC and Disney Plus. I'm here to answer some questions. Let's go.
Is it going to have its own channel? Listen, I'm sorry, mate. I have Disney Plus and I have to keep it. So I want to bet. Are we going to have a Doctor Who channel on Disney Plus? We have all classic Doctor Who? Could you imagine? Ooh, just imagine. All classic Doctor Who, all the DVD extras, everything in high def. Oh!
Doctor Who is a show about an alien Time Lord with two hearts who travels through time and space with a human companion by their side in the TARDIS. Now, the TARDIS is a space...
Okay, so I'm comparing this to Jodie in my head, right? When she does similar videos, right? Is this my... this is my bias. This is obviously my bias, I think, right? But he doesn't sound condescending, whereas Jodie did. Right, Jodie sounded very condescending. By the way, I like they had the tash, by the way. Jodie sounded condescending when he's talking about this stuff. Still not Welsh Doctor, says Norbert Norman. That's correct. Jodie did sound... but again, is that my prejudice? I don't know. But this is fine by me.
Shape that looks like an old British police box that you used to see on street corners, but it is so much bigger on the inside. Each episode, the Doctor can travel in time and space to the furthest reaches of the universe in the deepest times in history.
Notice they're using the Murray Gold theme, right? They're using the Murray Gold theme. Is he coming back? You got to assume it, right? What makes the Doctor a special hero? You know Russell's written all of these things.
The Doctor is full of optimism and hope with a fierce sense of right and wrong. They are clever and courageous.
Okay, you said everything that Jodie did until he came to clever and courageous. I want you to really be clever and courageous because Jodie never was, right? Jodie never was.
The Doctor doesn't carry any weapons, just a sonic screwdriver for fixing things and getting out of tricky situations. They're full of adventure, running towards danger, but when fatally injured, they can regenerate. So a new body, new face, but with a soul and a memory that carries generations of knowledge and experience. What more do you want?
That's a good explanation. I like that. That's a very good explanation. And again, I mean, I'm just well disposed to him. Like every time I say, I can't wait to see his costume. Right? I hope he makes kids feel the same way Tom Baker made me feel. Right? Like, just awe. Like, Tom Baker was huge. Just huge. Right? And just I don't want to use the word protecting, but he was. Like, courageous. He was a hero. That's what I hope he is, right? That's what I hope he is to kids.
I am so excited. Obviously, it's daunting. It's an iconic role and show, and I'm following in some very big footsteps.
He sounds scared, which I like. Jodie sounded too confident.
But I cannot wait to put my stamp on the character. With every new Doctor...
I keep saying he. Yes, well done, Ncuti. I think he's just saying because he's a male, maybe.
Becomes a new beginning for the show, and there are some extraordinary storylines for the season. So I'm going to be very, very busy.
But how long's the season, do you think? 12 episodes? How long's an average? I mean, I think 12 episodes. I think they might do that. They seem like it's going to be a big season.
I would take my TARDIS to Africa. I would take my TARDIS to Nigeria. And I would love for the Doctor to meet the Orisha, which were a set of gods in Nigerian mythology. And I think that he'd have a lovely old time.
You know, again, I have no problem with him bringing his heritage into it, because I like that it's filtered through British sensibility, which for me is so important, right? You know, and honestly, I think England is such a wonderful country, right? I grew up in London. It's incredibly cosmopolitan, right? You have every type of person that I like when I grew up there in the 80s. It had every type of person. It was lovely, right? To me, he just feels English, even though he's got, you know, a bit of an African accent and obviously dark skin, but it just feels English to me.
What villain would I choose? The Weeping Angels is always a classic, and they are just genuinely terrifying.
Oh, they're coming back then.
Would love to battle the Beast, because what an ultimate villain. That is the devil, and I don't think you get much more evil than that. There is so much to come in the next season. The TARDIS can go anywhere and will go anywhere, and nothing is too big nor small. Right, that's it for the...
I like that. Nothing is too big or small. That's really cool. I want to do small stories, small adventures. That's really cool.
Moment, I've got to get back to the TARDIS. But don't forget, the new season of Doctor Who will be exclusively on the BBC in the UK and Disney Plus in the rest of the world in 2023.
Can't wait. Cannot wait, baby. Oh, I love the logo. Love the logo. Oh, love it. Love it. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.